to another episode of The Black Carpet. Today we have a special guest, but first I want to talk to you, Genesis. I'm running shit today, so how do you feel sitting back today?
No, man, I'm playing co-pilot today. I'm excited to see where this is gonna go, man. I'm excited to hand the reins over to the queen and see where the shit goes.
I seen you turn up last night. What'd you get into? And why was I invited?
That is true. I mean, last night it was impromptu. Last night, actually, I know our guests will probably love this. I was able to rock out with Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh crew. They were they were able to do a live. They were recording something live for a show, and I was able to be behind the scenes, got some links and work with them. And literally, it was like a live concert, and I was the only one in the building, and it was fresh. I'm gonna give the Black Carpet a good view of that later in the week once the show is done. Don't want to get any legality issues. So everybody, what we did back behind the scenes with Dougie Fresh, really dope. Hip hop.
Did you see the deal though?
Of course, you know he's gonna come on the black carpet. You know I'm gonna get Dougie on the black carpet.
Good. Okay, so today our special guest is a Kansas City, unfortunately, fan and a great friend of mine, Rasheed Wallace. How are you?
Hey.
What's good?
Welcome to the Black Carpet. How you feeling?
Thank you. I'm all right. I can't complain. Just laying low up under the radar, just trying to stay COVID free.
Yeah, I've seen you've been doing some work around, communities. So thank you for, helping out the community.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I got to do my part. Even though I'm not playing no more, I'm still involved with the community. It's one of the things that I've always done. So I've been in Flint, actually going up to Philadelphia this week. Been down in Atlanta, Charlotte, been Houston, a couple places. So yeah, we're gonna do it. We're doing it.
That's good. Before we start though, who has better hair, Patrick Mahomes or Cam Newton?
Oh, here we go.
You talking about two different textures.
We'll go with that. So did you watch last night's game?
I watched part of it. I was busy trying to pack, doing laundry and stuff, trying to pack for this little road trip. So I wasn't able to see it all.
Oh, okay. Damn, you always on road trips. I want to be doing that.
Hey, gotta get it in. It's all work road trips. I wish it was, fun time, laid back in the sun road trips. But yeah, it's all work related.
True. You should come out and work in Miami. It's always hot over here.
Always hot.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, it's just a matter of getting connected with the right people, because it's the low income housing is everywhere. Right now, everybody can't afford to get the food every day. And, you have a lot of hungry children out here. And, man, that's why I got to play my part to try to do what I can in the community so kids and families got food to eat.
What actually is that initiative that you're doing moving around? I know you were talking about it, but I didn't know you didn't start off talking about what is actually you guys doing. You guys, I'll be talking like friends on the phone. I know, so
well, it's myself, Steven Jackson, and we've been going to different cities and having rallies and marches and putting the word out there. Like, look, it's time to put these guns down. It's time to stop all this violence. We got to protect ourselves. The police it's a whole lot of incidents involving them and young black men, unarmed black men, and it's just giving that light, giving that awareness out there. Like, look, y'all not alone. You got people out here to support you. We don't just talk it or, sitting up in the big fancy house like, okay, yeah, I support what they're doing. No, we got 10 toes to the ground and we out there knocking on doors daily, giving people food, giving people just hope, man. It's something to see someone's eyes light up when, boom, you come with a whole box of produce.
Yeah, we need more people to do that too. We need more of that for sure.
When you talk about 10 toes down, and I think that being possibly the biggest problem sometimes with these messages and the initiatives that we don't actually start action. We got a lot of logos, we got a lot of memorabilia going around, but what is it to actually start something and put your 10 toes down and actually move? And what does it take to actually do that, Rasheed?
Well, for me, truth be told, it's all from the muscle, straight out my own pocket. I don't have no organization. So, I don't accept cash donations. So if you want to, donate to what I'm doing, say if with me being in Philly this week, if people want to donate, then boom, they would call up a certain like Walmart or Target where we have a lot of big resources at, you know, the super Walmarts and all that stuff. So go in there, the order will already be there on a pallet, and then, you know, we just got a couple trucks and boom, we out into the neighborhood and knocking on them doors.
So literally, you call the local Walmart, like you're going to Philly, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people in Philly can call their local Walmart, say, hey, we hear Rasheed Wallace is coming this weekend. We want to buy X amount of ABCD. Leave it for him right here.
Yep. And that's how it happens for the most part. You know, and of course we deal with a specific store where we know someone at that store to be able to get, you know, these items that we need.
Yo, amazing. Yo, big shout out to those guys. I got to show love to this, man, because a lot of times this doesn't get light. We only talk about y'all careers and so on and so forth.
Right.
So just to go leading back into sports and talking about another guy that's doing amazing things in the community, and he just won his 4th championship. Back to LeBron. Put an asterisk on this bubble run. Do you put the asterisk on this bubble run? Ooh.
In my opinion, I do. And this was no matter who won it. It's not just the fact that the Lakers won, so you got to put the asterisk. No, damn, Toronto could have won, Boston could have won, whatever. I'm still putting an asterisk on it because, man, that 4 or 5 month time span they had that's a lot of good healing for your body. You know what I'm saying? But it was bubble basketball. I guess everybody was a little bit more excited to actually see basketball again, see a sport being played. So, I mean, it was all right. I watched a few games. Actually, this is the most NBA games I've watched in quite some time during this bubble run, because I wanted to see how it would affect guys. You know, now you don't have that crowd that got your back. You don't hear the, good shot, yeah, get him. Oh, yo, you stink. All right. You ain't got that. So now it's just you and them other guys out there with the chit chat.
I have a question. Do you believe in one specific person being the GOAT of a sport?
I don't know if you can, because you got to think, one, how long these actual professional sports have been around and all the many players that came along with it. But the way us sports nuts judge who's the GOAT or not is by the amount of championships he or she has. So, you know, that's how I usually go. But I can't just say it's one great person to ever play basketball, because you had so much talent throughout the years. And then I can't say the same thing about football, but you know, you definitely give respect to those that's do.
There you go, man. So the Lakers obviously got this bubble championship. They can't celebrate the way a lot of other championships can celebrate, you know, go out in the city, in the great city.
Right.
So I'm gonna take you back to 2004, and I want your family. How did the Pistons? Well, how did she celebrate his championship back then, brother? How was that night and that summer?
Long. It was a long night, bro. We didn't go to sleep. When we won it there, you know, we did the whole fanfare thing and they presented the trophy and all that. So what we did in the back, you know, we taking a whole lot of team pictures and doing a whole lot of interviews, right? Mm-hmm. So meanwhile, our families headed upstairs. It was a restaurant inside of the palace, and our families headed upstairs, and then we came up after, and we were there all night into the morning. I didn't leave the palace till about like 9:30 that next morning.
Bruh.
We was up in there eating, drinking, everything, like just having a good time, smoking stogies. You know, everybody had their cigars. Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. I'll never forget it. And I'm reminded of it, to be honest, every year this comes around with, you know, the finals.
You weren't drinking beer, were you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. But back then I was drinking everything. I was drinking beer, liquor, sake. You know, I was drinking it all that night. Boy, it was an amazing night, and I loved it.
He woke up real groggy the next morning.
Ooh, the next afternoon.
Switching over from a player to a coach now, because you coach Elite 100, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Should the NBA change the rules for allowing players to be drafted after high school?
I think so. I'm kind of riding the fence with this one, and I say that because one, on the left side of it, you have hell of a talent, young talent. You know, a guy, and this is Dream, to be playing in the NBA, and for himself and his family to see that name on the back of the jersey. I'm not one to shoot nobody's dream down. If you got the opportunity, hey, you better take it. And what on the other side of the fence, you have, it's going to take some time for development, but when you're dealing with a lot of veteran guys, veteran teams, it's hard on them young fellas, man, because their bodies, everybody isn't coming in the size of Zion as a rookie. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's a big dude, so he could take some punishment down there on the chop blocks. He could take them elbows, but a lot of these kids, 17, 18, 19, coming out of high school, nah, they can't do it. But I would say for them to, go to college for that year or two and develop your body and your skills, so now you will have a greater impact once you come into the league.
I tend to agree with that too, man. There's very seldom that you have the LeBron James of the world and these
Correct.
guys, specimens just straight out of high school. Those are once in a lifetime type guys. I do feel that most guys need to mature in all ways, psychologically, physically, and learn about life before they go bang with grown men. I'm just saying, just being real. Like, imagine me coming into the league, Rasheed Wallace, been in the league, league vet, he got drama with whatever the case may be, his contract, right? And I'm wet behind the ears. I'm gonna get all the bows. You need to be ready for all of those things. Different light, man. So I think
that's true.
Isn't that true? I mean, Rasheed
that's
Wallace,
true.
like,
Because you're in awe. I remember my first game in the NBA. It was in Mexico City during the preseason when I was with the Washington Bullets, not Wizards, the Bullets. And we were playing against the San Antonio Spurs. And this was, I think, it was before Tim Duncan had got to the Spurs. So David Robinson was the man. So here I am, I'm going out there. Of course, I didn't start. C-Webb and George Murison, they were the big men. They started. So when I went into the game, I'm like, all right, see, these guys played before. But when David Robinson checked back in that game, woo-wee, I was she's like, all right, come on, let's get it together. Man, David Robinson bust my ass. Yo.
I was just going to ask you who busted your ass.
Oh, man, he bust my ass. He had 30 points. He had about like 16, 17 rebounds in 30 minutes. I was like, ooh. I was like, yo, but it wasn't nothing I could do, because part of me was in awe, like, come on, I was just watching this guy like 5-6 months ago in the NBA playoffs going out there against Dream and, all the other great centers in the league. And now, fast forward, here I am guarding. So I was in awe a little bit, but I was like, man, then it wasn't nothing I could do with that man because he was stronger than me. He was just as fast and he was just as athletic. So I was like, man, but he bust my ass though. I ain't gonna hold you.
True. So okay, so you say that's the first dude that bust your ass in the NBA? You say
yep.
Who was the first dude? Who was the most favorable matchup that you had that when you saw it on the scout report, you was like, yeah, I'm gonna win tonight. I'm gonna get some buckets tonight.
Well, it wasn't really that. I always liked the matchups when I was going against KG, Tim Duncan, C-Webb, Juwan Howard, with them, those last two guys being my veterans. I've always liked to go against the up-and-coming young power forwards coming into the league, because that's your measuring stick to see where you at. And for me, when I saw that, all right, oh, man, we got the Spurs on Christmas this year? Like, all right, bet. We got Minnesota? Like, all right, yeah, we got them this time. So you do look forward to those matchups. And for guards, it's the same way. You're looking forward to the matchups going in and out. You looking at these guys and you watching the game, one, as a fan, but two, watching film, see how you're going to play.
Oh, true that. Okay.
Is there anyone in the league that resembles how you used to play?
How I used to play? I don't think so. My shot, kind of, sort of. I would have to say LaMarcus Aldridge might be the closest one to having that high shot, that high arcing shot. When I first saw him play in the league and watching, I was like, damn, is that? Oh, no, that ain't me. So, he had that high art. He kept it up there. I was like, man, whoever taught that kid how to shoot, they taught him right. He keeps that ball up.
Would you be able to play in this style of NBA today because you were such a stretch four back in the 2000s and in your days in Portland, and you had a low post game? Do you think that you'll be able to be dominant probably in today's game with it being so spread out?
Oh, for sure. No doubt about it. Because now, even though they could play zone, but you still got to get me. I'm a bust his ass behind me. All I got to do is get that ball. I can make my move before that double team come, unless they come in on the flight of the ball. But, you know, of course, the NBA today is more offensive. You know, they want to see the dunks. That's why so many ISOs. They want to see the whole up and down play. No, like when I was with Detroit, ain't nobody really want to see us play for real, outside of Detroit.
Right.
Because it wasn't no flashy ball with us, and we locking that shit down. You ain't getting all them alley-oops and 360 dunks with us. No, all of that is not happening. So when we had teams out there, it's like, all right, boom, you better go ahead and get that layup. But now, yeah, I think it would be reversed for me, to be honest. I wouldn't even be out on the wing. I would be right down there on the chop blocks because a lot of these cats can't play post defense. You know, and they don't know how to play post defense because most teams don't teach it, no matter collegiate or in the league. So, yeah, give me that ball. You, call my number. Turn 4. Turn 4.
Turn 4.
Sure.
I like it.
So being that you're so bright and insightful, have you ever been asked to be an NBA coach? And would you be an NBA coach?
A head coach in the league? No, I wouldn't.
You get too many texts?
No, it wouldn't even be that. I think my thing would be just the attitude of some of these young guys, because, you know, they feel as though like, all right, I'm in the NBA now, I'm making $1 kajillion. It's nothing you could tell me. And, you know, that attitude, no, all right, then, you know, can't have it. So, but I have been an assistant coach with the Pistons. I think it was the either 2014-15 season or the 2015-16 season. I can't remember which, but it was for that whole season, and it was pretty good. My big men were Andre Drummond and who else? Big Greg. Mm-hmm. So I had them. You know, they were the only two bigs at the time, averaging a double-double in the league, and, you know, we were doing pretty good. You know, both of those guys were on the rise.
Nice.
What you got on right now? On your feet?
Flip-flops. Just walking in the crib, you know, I had to put them house shoes on.
She expecting to hear like, yo, I got the shoe low right now.
Yeah.
Ones.
No, I was wearing some Air Force Ones earlier though.
Which leads question, you know, which leads us to my next question. You know, we have Rasheed Wallace on the black carpet, NBA champion right here. Welcome you, fam. We appreciate you coming on the platform, my G. And first thing I gotta ask you, just as you go by the term Unc. Is that you like that, or you ain't there yet? You know,
I don't have no problem with it. You know, especially when you that somewhat of a mentor to younger players. You know, I don't have no problem with it.
Now I think it's a big respect, because I was telling somebody, I was like, Unc coming on the show, and just as a family, you know, this is a family affair. You know what I mean? So I was like,
fact.
So back and culture, obviously, hip hop is a big. Last night I was rocking with, obviously, Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh crew. That was a hell of an experience. You know what I mean? And because you already know how that was going. I'm gonna send you some of the clips so you can see what we was rocking with.
Word.
But the way you played the game, man, from your fashion style to how you were on the court, how did hip hop embody your game and obviously your personality, pretty much?
And truth be told, I think hip hop made me comfortable with myself. And I said, you know, when I was younger, I was shy. I felt awkward being the tall guy, you know, and growing up, all my clothes didn't fit. So it was kind of tough. But then, you know, just with hip hop, I always liked music. So when hip hop first came out, you know, when I'm hearing sucker MCs on the radio You know, I'm hearing all of that. I'm hearing Schoolie D on the radio when I'm growing up. So listening to more of, I guess, the cleaner lyrics, and just listening to that confidence that a lot of the rappers back then had in themselves and the words. So for me, I was like, man, I'm all right. I'm gonna just try to start coming out of my box. You know, I remember the first time I ever danced at a party. And you know, it was just to a hip hop song, just basic little 1-2 steps and all, but it was cool. But man, I embrace hip hop. You know, I love my music and my music loves me because it's so raw.
So who are you?
Straightforward.
So who are some of your favorite artists today? If you have any today.
In today's hip hop, it's a couple. Of course, I like J. Cole. I like Kendrick Lamar. I like a lot of guys who spit knowledge, who got lyrics, not just thinking of party themed music. You know, they're actually saying something. They got content, lyrical content. You know what I mean? And you can't beat that. And a lot of rappers out here, you know, they don't get credit for it because if they not coming up with some little bobbing or little dance, then they like, yo, that joint corny. But you know, they could be saying some real stuff.
All right, so everybody that come on the platform, what verses would you like to see, man? If Rasheed Wallace could pick his verses, what would it be?
That's a good one. I would say, just like his song, Black Thought versus anybody.
Oh, Black Thought.
Whoa.
You know, I haven't heard anybody say Black Thought, bro. Like, real talk. Like, no one.
Well, again, it goes back to what I just said a second ago, because he's so lyric. He makes you think. Yeah. When you like, if you think about it, when you listening to music, you try, for the most part, you're listening to the lyrics second, because the beat is what catch you first. So whoever that lyricist is, if they talking about something, all right, then you know you focusing a little bit more. But if you just like the beat, then you know you just going wild out to the beat every time you hear it, no matter what the hell they saying. But man, Black Thought, dog, hey, bruh, he's a god MC. It ain't too many of them out there, but Black Thought is a god MC. I guess I would love to see Black Thought versus KRS-One. That'll be.
We putting that. We want to see if everybody in Black Thought agrees with Rasheed. Black Thought, KRS-One. I will be locked into that, yo.
Man,
we gonna have to holler at Swiss and Tim.
So back to your feet. What made you play with some Air Force Ones with the strap in the back, but not regular Air Force Ones, the high tops throughout your career? Like, did you sign with anyone? Weren't they uncomfortable? Like, I don't know.
Well, when I first started wearing the Air Force Ones, I had orthotics in mind. So the original Air Force Ones, you know, everybody got a pair out there. So you know how flat that damn insole is. So you might as well just stuff that joint with some tissue paper. But I had orthotics in mind. And the reason I did the high tops is because, you know, being an athlete, you got to protect your money makers. So you got to protect your ankles, knees, and back when I was out there on that floor. So wearing high tops, having on a pair of socks and your ankles taped, like, all right, you know, tape that joint up, tie it up real tight, and let's rock and roll. But I love the Air Force One, man, because it's a good quality shoe. You know what I mean? And you can put that joint in mad flavors. You know what I mean?
Would you sign with them?
Yes, I signed a deal with Nike my rookie season when I came to the NBA. Okay. And I signed a deal with Nike because, again, as I just said, you got to think of protecting your feet. And Nike, out of all the shoe companies, was the longest dealing with my sport. So I'm not going to go over to Puma or Reebok if they're just coming into the basketball scene a couple years ago as far as shoe wear. But no, Nike's been there for a long time, and I'm happy that I was with them. You know, I came out some fire ass Air Force Ones throughout the year.
Are you surprised that sneakerheads like flock to get the colorways of your Air Force Ones with the patent fadeaway and some of your patent leather colorways? Are you surprised that sneakerheads love this?
Well, that much, yeah, for real. You know, like I said, you know, it's a good shoe, especially when you get to putting some wild designs on it, or, you know, different type of materials. Like I got one pair that I had wore in the All-Star game one time, They're red, white, blue, and gray, but it's patent leather, ostrich, and something else on there. But it's funky, dog. It's funky. So like, came up with a whole, just a whole different color schemes and material schemes. That's what make your Air Force One.
Do you have a KC pair?
Oh yeah. Come on now, you already know. I need a KC pair with a little Lombardi on the side or something. You know what I mean?
That'd be fire.
I'm at for some black carpet ones, say little black and white joints.
Yeah.
Holla at them, see what we can get.
All right, so now it's time for tech teams. So knowing that you had 41 techs in a season, this is your time to name 5 players that would be on your tech team.
Yeah,
first
5
you,
players.
and then Genesis. Yeah.
Okay, so me plus 4 more. All right.
Basically.
I would say from my point guard would be either Chauncey or AI. For real. Because the refs ain't like neither one of them either. At the 2, my all-tech team, let me see, who was a fiery spirit at that 2? I probably would have to go a little further back. Reggie Miller had got a lot of texts just from talking junk. It wasn't necessarily nothing demonstrative that he did. Let me see. The 3, I would probably say either Karl Malone or Barkley, because both of them are in front of me.
Okay.
Of course, I'm at the 4. And then my 5, it would probably be like, go back to old school, like a Mo Lucas or Moses Malone. You know what I'm saying? When back then, when tech then was real tech.
Chris, what about you?
From fighting.
All right. That's a solid list.
I don't know. That's a hard list to beat. Just saying.
I'm gonna go 5 to 1. I'm gonna go center. I'm gonna go my center, and I'm gonna come down.
Okay.
My center. I got your boy. You always do area 21 with him. I got my man Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett's playing my 5, yo.
Okay.
Fiery, you know what I mean? Refs hate him, players hate him. Text all day. 4, I got you. You know what I mean? I got Rasheed at my 4. My 3 was hard. I was like, either I go Draymond or I go Rodman. Sure.
Rod.
I would probably go Rodman with that one.
Yeah.
Okay, we go Rodman. My 2 was Kobe. Kobe actually had 166 texts in his career. I don't know if that's a lot, but like that's a decent.
That's not a lot.
That's not. Oh, she said that's not a lot. That's not.
Look, I doubled that shit. That's not a lot.
You the go to the text though. That's.
I know.
And number 1, GP. I had Gary Payton going running point on my all-time tech team. Obviously, probably, but they were the fiery guys. So that's who I have, man. So hopefully, I don't know, Albie, who would win? Who would win, and who would beat each other up more? Which
anybody that's on Sheed's team is winning. I'm sorry. Shit talking, ass whooping. Anyone that's on Sheed's team, so wrap.
I don't think the game will finish. Honestly, I don't think the game.
No, it wouldn't. Benches are clear and everything.
For real.
He would start it because he'll come at you first, and then that's it, bro. Let me in, bro. Oh man.
Hey.
I'm gonna take you back to that championship when you guys won. I just want to pull your brain a little bit because I felt they were comparing the Miami Heat to you guys. Miami Heat team that played the Lakers to you guys, the underdogs, and so on and so forth. I'm not gonna speak to that comparison, but how was it going into that series? The Lakers were obviously coming off of 3 championships, I believe, back-to-back championships.
Something like that, yeah.
I believe they were going for their 4th. And you guys came in as the underdogs. Obviously, defensively, you guys were very, very strong. What was it going into that series? What was the mentality? What was the relationship with the players? How did you guys know you were going to win? I want you to speak on that particular championship leading into that series with the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe.
Well, it was a hell of a fight. You know, we were excited. I think we were rejuvenated when we reached the finals because we went through a hell of a battle with Jersey. We went through hell of a battles with Indiana. We went through hell of a battles with Cleveland. So when we got to that finals, it was like, whoo, like, all right, you know, now you excited. So you got that shot of adrenaline, but on everything, right hand to the man.
Mm-hmm.
We went into that series, us as a group, you know, we were in practice, though we were confident. We were overconfident. We were almost arrogant, real talk, because that's the swag that we went into that building with. We already knew ain't nobody give us a chance, but us and, you know, some of the people in Detroit, all the media, even a majority of the media in Detroit didn't give us a chance. You know, so it was just like, all right, we got something for y'all. We got something for y'all. So that game one, man, we came out from the door on all 12 cylinders, running, boom, 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 boom. Stole game one, took game one. So everybody like, oh, Pistons lucked up, but their mighty Lakers will come back in game two. Da, 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 da. So Cole, rest in peace. Boom, he had a great shot to get him that win for game two. So as we're flying back home to Detroit, you know, guys are on a plane. Some guys are playing cards. Some guys are watching movies. But, you know, we always interacting with one another. And pretty much at the same time, like, we all said, yo, y'all know we can't go back to L.A. If we go back to L.A., then we not going to win this thing. Because we already know what they wanted. They wanted the storybook ending for those guys. That was Team Hoff. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they wanted the storybook ending. So we all agreed in that first game when we played in Detroit, oh man, we were coming, we were gunning. And the thing I loved about that team, you really couldn't prepare for us because you didn't know who was going to have that hot hand that night. Is it going to be Rip? Is it going to be Tay? Is it going to be Chauncey? You know what I'm saying? You never know. We was confident though, man, and it showed because we had mad energy. We weren't tired. You know, when you get that shot of adrenaline and you know, and you also playing like, man, I might not ever get back here again. You know, I was thankful to the basketball guys. I made it to 3 finals and came up 1-3, but man, it makes that one sweeter.
Did it feel like revenge when they beat you in Portland?
Oh, it felt like a great weight off of my shoulder. I got that gorilla off of my back with that organization. You know, the Los Angeles Lakers has always been a thorn in my side with me playing in Portland and trying to get by Shaq and Kobe. Like, yo, it was hard. I ain't gonna front. It was hard. And then, you know, I think that's what made it even better because I remember doing those regular seasons and you got to play the Lakers 4 times. They beating our ass. In the playoffs, who we matching up against in the first round? Lakers. All right, well, shit, let me go ahead and start planning this summer because I know we ain't gonna beat these guys right now. But it just kept feeding it and feeding it. And then I said to myself, all right, now I got a good team. You know, I'm with a bunch of guys who are just as hungry as I am. And boom, it's like, yo, we went out there. Yo, I got your back. Got your back, so forth and so on. And man, it was hell of an adventure. That was a nice ride. That was the best like second season I've ever had in the NBA.
Nah, that was a solid. I remember when they traded for you and you came over, the hype that came with it, and we were like, as people that follow the Eastern Conference as a Heat fan, we were like, nah, that might be that piece that, you know, that might put them over the edge, because we know in that same era of basketball, you still needed that edge. You needed somebody to like a Udonis Haslem or something like that. That what you call it, a pit bull. I don't know what they call it.
That good role player. Who he know his job.
Yeah,
that's what I like about you guys. You guys, he ain't gonna step out the box and try to start shooting all these threes. No, you guys gonna go grab them rebounds and run that floor. I like young Bull.
So we got a fan question. It comes from Brandon E. from Queens, New York. He wants to know, who was your toughest matchup? I think you answered that. We'll ask you. Who was your toughest matchup? And also, who do you consider to be the best power forward of all time coming out of Queens?
Wow, that's great. For me, my toughest matchup that I've ever had was against Terry Cummings. You know, I was a young fella. It was probably like about my second year in the league, and he was a grown man He had grown man with kid strength. All right, it was nothing I could do with him except outrunning. So that he was my hardest matchup. I couldn't stop him on offense, and on defense, on offense, I'm trying to back him down, and it's like backing down a brick wall.
Ooh,
like this, and he just, all right, man, let me pass this ball out of here. He was my toughest matchup, especially when I was younger. And let me see, who would I say would, I don't know. That's the thing.
Yeah.
The GOAT of power forwards.
Got mine. I mean, I
it's a lot, man. You know, for me, I could throw David Robinson in there because I see him as a power forward first, power forward center. You know, Tim Duncan as well. You know, with his stats, you got to throw him in there. For me, I like old school. You know, I'm a retro guy, and again, I got to bring my man up. Rest in peace, Mo Lucas. You know, he was a lot to handle down there. Adrian Dantley was a great four. It's hard to say, man. That's a great question coming up from Queens.
Right. Well, my top three power forwards, I would just say, just going out there. We got Tim Duncan, number one. I have Barkley, two, and I got Karl Malone, three, just in terms of my favorite, in terms of the vibe, you know. So those are my top three right there. So.
Yeah, and you gotta throw Karl Malone in that mix, because, you know, with all the points that he scored, and very few players have reached that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we know you're a big NFL fan, obviously, behind you. Who is the surprise team that you like? Who do you think is the surprise team this year?
So I guess my biggest surprise team for me, and I know you're not gonna like it, is the Bills. You know, those they're playing good football right now. I gotta say, they definitely got my attention. You know, I'm looking at some of their games now. They're playing good ball, and they're young. So if they could stay together, I think, you know, they will contend with someone else up there in that conference.
The Bills got a shot, especially with the whole Brady and Belichick break up. They got a chance to take the AFC East. But my surprise team is the Bears, man. I didn't think the Bears were going to be anything other than Khalil Mack, honestly. I'm not going to lie. I didn't have trust in Mitchell Trubisky. Obviously, they didn't. I think Nick Foles can handle it. You know, he's obviously a championship quarterback, and he's been a starter before, so give him another shot, man.
Yeah, eventually they will. They paid him too much money to, you know, put him on ice for a long haul. No, they probably sat him down for a second or two, but that's how he is. He's that comeback quarterback. You know, look at the things that you just mentioned that he did when he was with the Eagles.
The Eagles, yeah, man. So I think the Bears are my surprise team.
Okay. So who's the NFL MVP?
For this first quarter, I don't know. It definitely ain't my man, for sure.
It's not Mahomes?
Nah. That's a good one. I don't know. That's a good one. I might have to really think about that.
Russell,
because it's some good teams playing football. Yeah, right now I definitely would put him in the mix for sure. Russell Wilson, got to put him in the mix. You know, with Seattle being 5-0, and they're playing good ball. They're playing great ball.
I got Russell Wilson 1 and Aaron Rodgers right behind him, because Aaron Rodgers coming out this season is just. Woo.
Well, he's mad. He got a point to prove. AR-12 is like, oh, y'all gonna draft this quarterback? All right, I got something for y'all.
And who would you like to see in the Super Bowl, and who do you think would win?
Ooh.
My prediction for Super Bowl is us and the Packers.
Us and the Packers. Okay.
Yeah, us, you know.
I see
that kingdom.
No, he meant us right here. He meant us here.
No. Not with Cam. Not with Cam, y'all not.
So what do you think about
Cam is in a good situation with Belichick, though, but it's going to take him some time to get used to that Belichick playbook, man.
He looked like he was doing good. I mean, if it wasn't for COVID and 1 yard, a 2 yard run against Seattle, bro. I mean, it could be pretty. It could be 4-0. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they could be, but right now they deuces.
2-0, 2-2.
Speaking of COVID, now that everyone, like not everyone, but a lot of players are catching COVID, what do you think the NFL should do as of right now? Because we know the bubble happened, but for NFL, obviously they can't do a bubble. So what are your thoughts?
Wow, that's a tough one. I guess you would actually have to plead to the players, to go ahead and stay safe, stay chill for this time, especially if you're a championship contending team. It's like, yo, all right, I'm gonna chill. I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna be right here at the house. It's slow motion. It's not gonna be a lot of people over here. You got to stay focused like that for your health, and then two, you should stay focused like that for your craft. I mean, because one thing my coach always told me, hey, them streets, them clubs, and them parties, they always gonna be there. But focus on your craft, get your craft, and it's sad because as you just mentioned, I don't think the NFL could do a bubble. They would need like a damn near a small town, because you're talking about a 53-man roster, and then you at least 30 other people for coaching staff and assistants and all the trainers. Yeah, they would need like a small town and probably 2 big stadiums.
I thought we should have small bubbles around the country, like teams that are in the Northeast play in the Northeast. And then it's hard in terms of traveling and so on. I was looking at how the college football did it, like the SEC, but with the NFL, I see it being very, very difficult with the whole timing. And then, we're all living in this time that we don't know what the hell going on, bro. So.
Yeah, true that. That's the scary thing about it, man.
Don't know, so I can't really judge anybody for this because nobody knows what the hell's going on, bro. So it's
right. I know I wouldn't have been in the bubble though. You
wasn't going. I wonder why Rasheed Wallace wasn't going to the bubble.
No, I was not. I couldn't. If I was a player, I would have opted out personally because my family, man, is especially if you have a lot of elders in your family. You know what I mean? Older aunts, uncles, grandparents, older parents. I couldn't afford that.
How you felt about the young bucks that had to go there that are used to a little bit of extracurricular activities, that they couldn't really get into? Well, and they had to sit in that bubble, some of those guys, for over 60, 70, some 100 days, How you think it affected them? You think it was a problem for them? NBA guys are spoiled. How you think they felt, man?
Oh, man, they were bored as hell. They were bored as hell, even though I think they did have a few activities on inside the bubble they could do, jet skiing, fishing, things like that.
Beer pong.
But other than that, beer pong. Other than that, I know they were bored as hell.
I could imagine, man. I don't know who was getting looked. I don't know how many reporters was getting. Didn't Mr. House get kicked out for some extracurricular activities that he shouldn't have been a part of?
Yeah, with one of the testers. They say.
Oh wow, allegedly.
He was one of the ones that tried it. Really, I'm sure everybody, a lot of them were thinking it.
Yeah, he went through with his plan.
Yeah, he did.
So there have been a lot of injuries this season in the NFL. Why do you think that's happening? Because COVID, because they had, a certain time off?
I'm not sure. I gotta just,
because there's been a lot.
You gotta chalk that up to the sport. It's just, I would say it's just more gruesome injuries now. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you all, every year you always gonna hear about it. MCL, ACL, all of that, an Achilles, a broken foot or a broken leg, but that compound fracture, dislocated fracture that got,
it looked nasty.
I'm like a punk. I gotta turn my head on that play. Oh no! Same thing with Alex Smith last year. Oh man. So I think the injuries, some of them are more gruesome. But it's all part of it though. Come with the territory. Sad to say.
That Dak Prescott injury, his foot turned the other way. I think a lot of it has to do with no preseason. These guys are just coming full throttle, just knocking each other upside the head wad a little warm up. I don't think you should have 4 games. I think 2 is enough. But
2 would have been good. Some type of warm up practice, yeah.
Warm up, bro, because these dudes are coming in. Because even you guys in the NBA, when you guys start your season, you guys don't rev up all the way. You guys kind of warm up until about Christmas, and then you guys the ground. Yes. So imagine the NFL. We got a pound from week 1, bro. That's crazy. So yeah, man.
So how do you think the pandemic's affecting like the sports world in general, like worldwide?
It's wild. It's wild. You know, now you have an NFL football on Tuesday. it's wild, you know, and then if you look at ESPN, they were showing at one point baseball, Korean baseball. So it's affecting everybody worldwide. You know, I don't think no athlete is really immune, even though, you know, we are some of the best in shape and all that, but still we're not immune to it. And I think the only sport really, in my opinion, that granted, I mean, it affects them because of they're human, but as far as spreading it, is tennis and baseball. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely 6 feet away from you. You know what I'm saying? But it's just sad, man. And as you said, these times is something that we're all dealing with. So it's crazy.
Definitely, man. I want to ask, especially with this pandemic, I think all these questions align. With the pandemic, we had 2 pandemics, and you and your brothers are out there fighting the streets. And I just want to talk to you about, you feel the social injustice push and the social injustice campaign that's going on, I would say, and it's moving into voting, which seems to be the initiative. Obviously, you were there at the start. Obviously, you're on the ground now. How do you feel about what has been done from the time George Floyd passed to now, and the movement that has been going forward?
Still going on. Still going. The fight is still going on, and you still have police shooting and killing unarmed black men. We're hoping that it stops with the correct politicians who will bring these officers up, you know, the ones now and probably for the future, bring them up on charges to let them know, like, look, just because you help serve the law, you're not above the law.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And don't get mad at me. You picked the shitty job. You knew going into becoming a police officer that you only making, you know, a certain amount of money a year. You know, it comes with stresses, especially if you married, got a family, all of that. So don't take it out on, you know, the public. Don't go to work with your quick attitude, and then next thing you know, you're shooting somebody, you tasing somebody, and it's even with these what they call it, the crowd controlled safety ammunition, the rubber bullets and the bullet. Yo, did y'all see some of that damage that they caused?
They hurt.
Like, man.
Yeah.
But it's we gotta keep it up though. You know, we have to stay together. We are as black folks being in this country, across the country, and black men in general know that we're targets. Yo, we gotta be careful. Every move gotta be planned and plotted. You can't just go out here on a whim no more. You know, it's no just getting up, going to the store at 12:30, 1 o'clock at night. No, because it could be Castle or some other, you know, dumb people out there that want to start some ruckus. No, I'm gonna go ahead and chill at home. You know, we got to change our whole mindset up. It's not a fact. It's not a matter of, you know, being punk or scared or this, that. No, it's just being safe, especially if you got family.
Can you tell America what that conversation is with you? I'm not sure. You have a son? I'm not sure if you have a young.
Yes, I have 3.
Three sons. There you go. So I was wondering, what is that conversation like with your sons about obviously being in the street and how to conduct themselves as a black man in America?
I automatically off top tell them, look, let them have it. It's only for a couple minutes. If it's a cop or, you know, someone else is messing with you or causing you to maybe think of doing some harm, or, you know, you're getting smart with a cop. No, just relax, because you know why? It's only going to be a couple minutes. You know, when you get pulled over with that ticket for speeding or running a stop sign, whatever, all right, just abide everything you say. Of course, smart, as I always told my kids, keep your hands on the steering wheel. Keep your hands on the steering wheel, turn your music off, so then that way, everything, you're complying with everything. Show them your ID, don't say nothing. You know why I stopped you? I was speeding. And, that way, guess what? Because I need you to come home. I don't need you to try to be a martyr out there. I need you to come home. So, hey, take the ticket. We take care of the ticket later. All right. Little things like that. I talk to my boys a couple times a week, just to ask them what's up. Oh, you staying at home? You good? You chilling? You don't need to be out here in these streets. So right now, to the point, I'm glad they're listening, because for the most part, they go to work in the home.
Okay, good. Shout out to Rasheed being a great father. Shout out to Rasheed being
I'm trying.
So you just started a Bonzi Wells and Rasheed Wallace podcast called Bonzi Sheed Tech, right?
Let's get technical.
How's that? Technical.
Yeah, let's get technical.
Sorry, I was going off the Instagram. Let's get technical. How's that been going?
Oh, it's awesome. Bonzi was in my ear, truth be told, for about like a year. He was like, man, we got to do a podcast. And, as he's seen what Steve Jack and Maddie Barnes is doing, they have a great thing with Up in All the Smoke. And so Bonds was like, man, we should start one. I was like, Bonds, I don't know. I'm coaching high school ball right now. I don't have a direct time for it, this and that, And then the COVID situation happens. And then, so that's when I'm like, all right, come on, we ain't doing nothing else. So now I got the time, because I couldn't work my guys out or even be at school. So, all right, come on, let's do it. And he was like, all right, bet. So there it was. It was born. And we did a couple practice runs first, just to try to get, comfortable and familiarity with one another, talking on the mic. And, with our other co-host, Gerald Brown, he's the real veteran out of the three. He has other podcasts on serious shows, and he's been in the podcast for quite some time. So he helps us out a lot with a lot of the things that Bonzi and I, sometimes maybe struggle on, or trying to get a format or something like that. So we listen to a lot of the things he said, but I like doing it. It's cool. Just talking about, a majority of things that and giving your opinion on other stuff you might not know.
Nah, definitely. I mean, we're here trying our best here at the podcast. We don't have that guy, but we're on the black carpet, and we try to do our thing. So shout out to you guys. Where can they find the podcast? What's the name of the podcast now and all that?
It's Let's Get Technical, and you can find us on all podcast platforms. Check us out on Twitter and Instagram at Bonzi Sheed Tech. That's all one word. And man, we just trying to do it, just give the people a different angle from just other athletes talking about sports. No, we coming from our perspective with it.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Bonzi will be my sixth man. That he'll be my sixth man on the all tech team.
Oh, on a tech team? Yeah. And he gonna try to blame me, talking about I'm a bad influence on him. So
telling you, nobody leaving that court, yo. Nobody's leaving that court after that game, Sheed. I think it's very important to mentors and be a mentor. And before we get out of here, hey, I want to say thank you for coming on to the black carpet with Albie and myself. I really appreciate you taking the time out.
Thanks for having me.
Helping us, man. And so in terms of being a mentor, obviously I feel that you're a mentor. You coach college kids, so you automatically step into that role of a role model. So who was a mentor to you, and how does that now obviously help you mentor these kids and be in a very influential part of their lives growing up?
For me, when I was growing up, my mentors was my godfather, my grandfather, and believe it or not, my older brother, who was I think was 10 years older than me before he passed away. But they were my mentors, and it didn't have nothing to do with sports. It's just from me watching and seeing them when I was growing up, watching my grandfather, how he's the head of the house. What he say goes. In his crib, he's golden law. No men is washing dishes in my house. My grandfather, old school. No men's gonna be washing dishes around here. That's a woman's job, this and that. And guess what? None of the grandkids or even himself wash them dishes, you know, and it was just different little life lessons that I've learned from all three when I was younger, before I even really thought about playing basketball and watching my godfather. He was a police officer, he was a sheriff, and watching him trying to juggle his everyday life with his wife and kids and all that BS that's going out there in the street, you know, and it was like, man, I commend you for that. Just stay on that straight and narrow. You know, you don't necessarily got to be a nerd, but no, stay on that straight and narrow. You know, be that positive person. One thing I always like to say, and I think a lot of younger people should listen to it or be more involved with it, is, power is positivity. Mm-hmm. All right, it takes more for you to be positive, to be kind to someone, than it does to be negative or say something degrading to someone.
I agree.
So power is positivity. You know what I'm saying? Where you got, and it ain't gotta be nothing like dragged out. Like, you walking with someone, all right, what's up, man? Hey, I'm glad you went over there. You took young bull to the game. It's all the little things. It doesn't necessarily have to be something big or something that I got to put on the gram and all. No, power is positivity.
Sheed, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. You seem like one of the realest dudes that I grew up. I haven't met you in person yet, but watching you on the basketball court, you just seem like that real dude. I think that's why you got so many texts, because you were just too real. So right now, brother, before we get out of here, Albie and I'm gonna go first. I just want to give you your flowers, man. I just want to say thank you so much for being able to entertain us and doing it at such a high level. Thank you so much for coaching up the young dudes to make the NBA what it is today. Thank you for doing the community, brother. Thank you for you and Steven Jackson taking the initiative after what you saw what happened and actually putting 10 toes down. Shout out to our boy Nipsey, and I just want to right now just give you our flowers, man. Like, you would always be a staple in the NBA, just even if people don't remember you as that great role play, but just the personality you had, man, from the sneakers to everything, bro. I just want to say thank you, and we appreciate you, bro.
Yes, and thank you for being one of my mentors, because I come to you about podcasts and everything going on in life, so I appreciate you.
Oh, for sure. And I'll say this, I appreciate y'all, and thank you for recognizing and giving me my flowers while I'm alive.
Yeah, man, I think that's one of my next things when I'm doing this. We have to make sure that we show people mad love for what they've done and to show appreciation, man. And
while they're here.
Yeah. I've gotten that from Timberland and Swiss. I think the Versus thing has really been impactful for me as a hip hop head, and then seeing the culture. I want to do the same, and you coming on our platform and you being so real to the culture, bro. Real to the culture. We appreciate you, man.
Oh, no doubt. Anytime, man. Anytime, Albie, you can hit me up. Come on, anytime, man. Thanks for having me up here on the black carpet. I appreciate it.
We appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.